All right, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hey Guys Fantasy Football Season 2, Week 4 talk show. You got the commish. You got JJ, as always. Jack, my playoff chances are dwindling faster than Rashee Rice's recovery chances, and we're going to talk about it all this week. Let's get right into it. You guys already know what it is. We're going to break down the week 3 scoreboard
Yes,
and
sir.
week 4 scoreboard. Jack, I think we're going to start with you this week. What a what a just in the trenches, the boys pulling out a win. Young Hoku, 20 points. Craziness. Just talk to me here. What's going on?
Yeah, this was a real gritty win. I'm so damn proud of this team. Jaden Daniels continuing to be the star he is. The kicker putting up a 20 piece. Uh, and what did it for me, I don't know if anybody watched that Titans-Dolphins game. I hope you didn't because it was a horrible, horrible game of football. But at the end, 4th and goal from the 4, Titans have the game in the bag. Instead of just taking a knee, they hand it off to Tony Pollard. He gets in the end zone. 6 point difference, won by 3. Bridge, you played a great game. DeAndre Swift putting up 30 is pretty miraculous, but uh, this was a big win. So we were looking good on points the whole week. I didn't want to take a loss, putting up almost 140. So this one felt good. Going to 3-1 feels a lot better than 2-2. I'm proud. I'm proud of the lads. And Bridge, you got to trade me Jahmyr Gibbs now. It's part of the me beating you deal. So
Yeah, I think Young Hoku for Jahmyr Gibbs. I think you should really send that in his inbox. That's kind of the kind of level Bridge
mm,
is operating on. But I
it's true.
mean, and if it just felt like it was Brendan's week to win to really get his first W.
He was
To
so
really
due.
like he was so due.
So due.
The fans wanted it. I could hear it from all of the comments that we have
Yeah.
that they were just looking for a Brendan win, but unfortunately no. Tony Pollard steals the show. DeAndre Swift is likely not putting up 30 points again. I'm going to be honest. He's probably going to go back to his 8 points a game that he loves. And so
Crazy.
it might be a long road for this manager here, but hey, Jack, 3-1. You got to be feeling pretty good.
Feeling great.
Love it.
Let's take a look now. Later on in the show, you will hear from our very own Nabil Jan. So we won't give you too much on this, but a narrow, narrow victory. Another one. Nabil taking the win over Shuby, moving to 3-1. San Fran defense leading the way.
I don't want to talk about the San Fran defense and what they did to Jacoby Brissett on Sunday, but yeah. Hey, Nabil, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Your top scorer this week was the defense. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna put out there. I'm not calling it a Mickey Mouse win, but 3-1 is a little bit of a disguise for this team right now. Let's put it that way. But hey, congrats to him. Highway Aubrey, Rashee Rice owner, I believe. So
Yeah, I
this
think so.
team with a loss of the game in one of their key star players, they gotta be going through it right now.
Yeah. That is an absolutely brutal hit. Rashee Rice was looking like being a top 10 receiver this year in fantasy football. Tough to see a player like that go down.
Absolutely. And the Justin Tuckers. This team just keeps on rolling. It's one week after another, almost doubles the score of our good friend Scott Duncan.
I didn't realize
And
it was that bad. Oh my.
that's that is a 60-point bomb
Oh.
on on this guy. That's manslaughter. You got to be putting in your bench players after this week. I
Yeah.
mean, it feels like for Tyler, it's another player every week, just like putting up the numbers, giving him the win. And this week, it's a 3 touchdown performance from Ken Walker. So there's nothing to be upset about here. Tyler's got a good team. I don't know when he's going to lose next.
Yeah, that team is looking scary. He was 3-0 without having Walker for 2 weeks, and with Stroud being pretty disappointing. Now look at him here combining for almost 60. I play Tyler this week, so I'm terrified. I know we're filming this halfway through Thursday Night Football, and my team's off to a good start, but that team is so scary. Any one of his players could just pop off for 30 points like that. It's we're going in with a chip on our shoulder for sure.
Hey, positive mental attitude. Never know what's going to happen. All right. Jack, talk to me about this next game. We really thought we were gonna have the same thing here. Natsu might have got his first win. Crash Crab Pizza in just a sinking ship right now. I mean, what does this team have anything to look forward to?
No, absolutely not. This team is so down bad, and not only has McCaffrey been out the whole year, but Devontae Adams, a member of the Krusty Krab Pizza, sitting out, hamstring. He's getting traded. Who knows when that'll be, and who knows what type of offense he'll get thrown into. So a lot of uncertainty, a lot of chaos in the locker room at Krusty Krab Pizza as Perone pulls off another impressive win.
Yeah, Jack. I mean, a lot of games on the board here. We don't have to go through all of them. It's really not that important.
Oh no, I think we should definitely go over this next one.
So there were
Like
some
real
words
quick, yeah.
there were some words exchanged this week. I said some things that were hurtful. Evan said some things that were hurtful, and only one of us has words to take back, and that's me because I lost to the newbie. The returning champion loses to this newcomer. This guy who doesn't know anything about football and just gets Jordan Mason from waivers and thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. And my team is just going through it. A couple of good performers. I thought my Justice Hill comeback on Monday night
Yep,
was
go
really
pull.
going to happen. Listen, when he had that receiving touchdown in the end zone, I thought for a second that I was going to be saved, but unfortunately he came up short, and I find myself at 1-3, which is a tough spot to be in this league.
Yeah, it's not looking great for your boys, Huddy. Jaden Reed, an impressive performance. It is nice to see that in the 2 weeks with Jordan Love in his QB, he's put up nearly 30, if not more, in both of those games. So that's a good asset. Xavier Worthy, we expect his value to shoot up after Rashee Rice's injury. He is now wide receiver one in Kansas City. So, things might be looking a little better for your lads, but it's a tough win losing to Gander. Ugh.
Not the guy I want to be losing to. But you're right. We have a couple wide receivers that are really going to get me some points in the next few weeks. So hoping to balance it out. But we have our second undefeated team here, Jack. James's team, 4-0. I mean, same thing, right? Didn't think Chuba Hubbard would put up another just miraculous game, but look at him, 22 points. And watching Derrick Henry return to his 2018 Tennessee Titans status it was just a gem for all football fans out there. I mean, that was crazy, right?
Yeah, he is so fun to watch. It blows my mind how he is the heaviest, biggest player on the field, probably the oldest player on the field, and still the fastest player on the field. That first run, it looked like everyone was in slow motion but him. Seeing him run the football I've never seen anything like that. He is so fun to watch. The Ravens are really tapped into that run game. And a smooth 4-0 from Murray. Picking up Justin Fields, I assume off the waivers since we didn't even think he'd be starting this year. Putting up 32 points, slinging the ball. Uh, Solid team and a solid win.
Yeah, I certainly didn't expect it from him after draft day, but I love it. I'm a big fan of the team. And last but not least here, we got Ollie putting up a few points. A narrow victory over Let's Go Dwarf. Nico Collins, man, I would trade the house for that guy. He's obviously the top option in Houston. I was huge on him coming into this season. If he was available to me in round two, I would have taken him. Dorf is 1-3, but I don't know. He's got some good players. I wouldn't be too worried if I was him.
Yeah, me neither. Nico has really proved that he's the real deal. He's in that conversation with, CD and Jefferson and Jamar Chase in terms of fantasy production, and he's doing it in an offense with other really great receivers. Stephon Diggs has been awesome this year. I think he's in the top 10 in fantasy points. Tank Dell's great, even though he was hurt this week. Nico he's that guy. He really is.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Quick look at the standings. Looks like the same from last week. We got two teams undefeated, two teams without a win, bunch of teams in the middle. Jack, you're a solid two seed in the East. I'm sitting down there at five, but listen, I'm gonna find my way up the rankings some way or another.
Yeah, I mean, still anyone's league. It's still early, but week 5 is usually the week that can make or break a lot of teams. Going to 4-1 versus 3-2 is a big difference, and going to 1-4 versus 2-3 is pretty major. So hopefully we see the rumor mill heating up this week. See some trades going off. I know Bridge has been looking for things. Suit should probably start looking at things. And who knows, maybe even Nico Collins has a chance of getting moved. So keep an eye out on Twitter, see what's going on. Follow us for all your league updates.
Oh yeah. We'll keep everyone updated. Some live progress for sure. All right. Jack, this was such an amazing idea. I mean, how could we not bring this back?
It's only fair. Both of these teams, and we unanimously went with Bridge last night. The fans up back home also leaning toward Bridge's team, but neither were able to pull out a win this week. Both falling to 0-4 this week. A lot of changes. We don't have the lineups updated here, but Huddy, give me some thoughts. Who you think's going to pull it off?
Well, I have a little bit of bias here, Jack, because I happen to be playing bridge this week. So I don't care who suit is playing. I'm going to go with him for the simple fact that I cannot be losing to this this team. I mean, listen, there are some bright spots. I'm not saying it's completely trash, but if I'm losing to Brandon Cooks and Colby Parkinson in the starting lineup, that says something about me as a person, really. It's a personal insult to lose to a team like this. So for that reason, I gotta be going with my boy Nate. I think pound for pound, I'm gonna agree with what we said last week. Bridge certainly still has the better lineup, even though Nate has Jordan Addison coming back with a nice, impressive performance. I'm sure you were happy to see that, Jack.
Yeah, getting Addison back's huge. He's a very talented player. Loved having him back for the Vikings last week. He had 2 touchdowns. Not a lot of action because we were running the ball most of the game once we took that big lead, but that's a nice addition, especially to fill in for Devontae this week, who will not be playing due to a hamstring injury. Unfortunately for Bridge, which makes me almost want to go with Suit, is that Jahmyr Gibbs is on a bye this week. His star boy is, one of his top 2, 3 players. That's a nice break for you, Mr. Sewell.
Consider me a little bit lucky. And my Buccaneers kicker, my GOAT, Chase McLaughlin, is putting up numbers right now in fantasy football.
Crazy
I think
game.
he's got at least 8 points at halftime.
Oh yeah, he's been going off.
Yeah, so this guy's gonna just really, really seal the victory early on for me.
Kickers
But
have
we'll
been important this year for
get
some odd
kickers,
reason.
man.
Fucking
Can't
kick.
get away from those kickers.
Oh,
All right.
moving on. This is just a nice little photo to sum up what happened last week in Bridge versus Suit. Who will win first?
This, yeah, this photo perfectly encapsulates both of these teams right now. Sitting at 0-4, about to be potentially 0-5. Playoffs a long way away, but their chances are already dwindling. Hey, how about Mason Rudolph, huh?
Dude, oh, he's so ass, man.
Is he more or less ass than Will Levis, who
Equal
is
amount of
on
ass.
cocaine,
Yeah. Those
who
two.
is drugged up
Yeah,
every game?
he was definitely cooked up for that last one.
Yeah, he couldn't focus. I don't think he could see the football in the second half.
Not at all. He was playing off of vibes only. Youngway Koo lining up for a 48-yarder.
Bro, I don't have Prime on my fucking computer.
Bang! Come on, let's go.
Jack, this is my favorite segment of the week. I get a peek into your mind, into your football psyche each and every week with our NFL rankings. So talk to me. Talk to me about what's going on going into week 5.
Well, we got some changes this week. A lot of big ones, starting off with my Minnesota Vikings in the dogs tier. I still have my skepticism as a Vikings fan that's been disappointed for 2 decades. However, they're 4-0. They're beating the shit out of everybody they play. I know the Packers game ended up close in the end, but it was a garbage time score and whatnot. They look really good. Sam Darnold looks like the real deal at quarterback. He just won NFC Offensive Player of the Month, which is the first Viking to do so since Jefferson a bit ago. Um, and they look good. I mean, I love what I'm seeing so far. I'm super happy. I don't know how long this ride's gonna last, but ESPN had our over under at 6.5 wins to start the year, and we already have four. So it's pretty good. Yeah. And with my Vikings, we got Kansas City, of course, 4-0 somehow. I still got the Bills up there, even though they had a really, really brutal loss this week to the Ravens and the Lions, who were pretty awesome in that very fun Monday Night Football game the other night.
Absolutely. Jack, I think you give your team not enough credit, being a diehard Vikings fan here. I know you're skeptic, but I mean, just the wins they've been pulling out, like you're right. It's impressive. Darnold is playing like nothing I've ever seen before. And and I've actually seen in some power rankings the Minnesota Vikings overtaking the Kansas City Chiefs, considering a huge injury for Rashee Rice. Obviously, everyone's heard about it. Last I've heard, we're recording this on Thursday, the 3rd, and they still haven't done the test yet to see if he's tore his ACL. It feels like they're gatekeeping that information, but that's going to be a huge difference on whether or not KC really keeps it going here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big blow for them. He's a stud. And who else do they have? Juju Smith-Schuster. But yeah, NFL Network had us at number one. I was like, all right, chill out. We don't need an ego boost right now. We got to stay locked in. This team is still an underdog in my eyes. So, and we'll see.
Hey, enjoy while you can.
Yeah, I will. Trust me. All right, moving on to the good tier. We got the Ravens bouncing back. Awesome win this week against the Bills. We got the Seahawks, who were undefeated going into the week, lost to Detroit, but that game was great. They played well, I thought. Tampa Bay is 3-1, looking good right now. Green Bay and San Francisco. And then we have a little split here between the meh tiers. We got meh but fun. We got the Commanders. We look pretty good so far. Jaden Daniels, real deal. Texans, Bengals, a few other bird teams no one wants to talk about. And then the meh but not fun. We got the Cowboys, the Rams, Steelers, Chargers, and the Jets, who somehow lost to a quarterback that threw for 60 yards.
So, Jack, I was sitting at home, visiting the rents, checking in on the fam Sunday, and didn't have a red zone. Not really a subscriber. So sitting there on my couch watching some YouTube TV, and I am graced with the only football game available in my geographic area being the New York Jets taking on the Denver Broncos. And Jack, I wish I watched paint dry. I think that would have been a more entertaining use of my time. It was ugly. It was bad. It was raining, which didn't help two mid-tier offenses going up against each other. Aaron Rodgers, not on the same page as his receivers. He was just screaming at Garrett Wilson on the sideline from that last drive, and it looks dysfunctional. It looks like they just didn't go to training camp together. I don't know why. Yeah, that game sucks. And the Jets still suck, which is awesome.
I know
Um,
it's so fun. I love that they're bad. I hate Aaron Rodgers so much. This is what you get for going on a darkness retreat during preseason, you fucking jackass.
Spoken
Dude,
like a true Vikings fan.
yeah, dude, same shit though. I was at Emily's for the weekend and we're in Jersey, so of course the only game they get is the Jets. And it got to the point where I started helping her cook because I could not watch that anymore.
Bro. Yeah, yeah. It was, I mean, it was record amount of punts. It was crazy.
So bad. Yeah, moving on. Shit tier. Got the Eagles. What is wrong with the Eagles, man? He got blown out by Tampa Bay after losing to him in the playoffs first round last year. They look dysfunctional. I know their receivers are injured, but that is absolutely no excuse to be playing this bad. Jalen Hurts does not look like himself. The defense looks terrible, and that's why they sit here alongside three teams that are actually bad.
The first problem I think of with the Eagles is the defense. The secondary doesn't exist. You go out and try to get these players, but it's not working out. I mean, it looks really bad. You're letting obviously the Buccaneers, pretty solid team. I mean, it's not that they're up there on our power rankings for a reason. It wasn't just that they beat the Eagles, but it's ugly with the Eagles. I really expected them to get. to like take that next step this year, get back to like a deep postseason run with Saquon. Maybe when they get Smith and Brown back, they make something happen, but I don't know, man. It's ugly.
Yeah, it's looking bleak right now without Saquon. They would be they'd probably be 1-3, which is not where you want to be as a team that's been competing for a Super Bowl in the last few years. Anywho, no real changes down at the bottom. The only one we have the Dolphins moving to super duper shit. Again, if you watch that game, I'm sorry. It felt like they went three and out every single possession, and they don't have a single guy on that roster that can throw the ball. They might as well just run the Wildcat. I don't see any answers for this team right now.
Just give it to Tyreek Hill behind the center and see what he can do with his Olympic speed. I mean, I really thought Tyler Huntley was gonna have a decent performance,
He
better
was a
than
Pro
what we
Bowler.
thought. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but man, that was bad. That was not a good game to any extent. I mean, Titans have a decent off defense, but I don't know if that's enough of an excuse. You saw Hill screaming on the sidelines, like, bro, what did you expect? I mean, he missed him on a couple of deep balls, but yeah, that's the production you're gonna get. I don't know if I can start Waddle this week,
Yeah,
and
I've Waddle in my other league, and I benched him this week, and I benched him last week. It's he's that whole offense is relatively unplayable right now. I'm worried for my boy Achan too.
I mean, he had a bad week, right?
Yeah, I mean he had 5 points because yeah they know they don't have anyone that can throw, so they just send the house every single play. It's ridiculous.
Well, Jack, we got to bet against the Dolphins again this week because we're going to our next segment. We're going to our next segment. Locks of the week. Jack, welcome to Locks of the Week. Perfect segue. We're taking first and foremost my New England Patriots +1 playing against the Miami Dolphins. No quarterback to speak of. We got stout defense here. I know everyone just forget about what the Niners just did to us in San Francisco. This team is going to win. We're going to look good. Brissett is going to have a good day. It's all going to be fine. Just trust me on this. New England Patriots, we're locking that in.
Playing at
And
home
my
in Gillette too, easy money. Come on now,
that's what I'm saying. It's
not
just
losing.
New England. And my second pick, Jack, I'm taking Jaden Reed, receiving yards. Like you said, with Jordan Love behind center. He has had two monstrous weeks through the first four. So I looked at his alternate lines and I said plus odds on 80 plus receiving yards. Love it. Christian Watson got hurt last week. Reed should have another big day. And those are my two locks of the week.
Love to see it. Reed is a beast. As a Vikings fan, it's hard to admit, but yeah, the kid's legit. My two locks. We got Bills -1 going into Houston. I think they're going to be really, really upset and work really hard at practice this week after getting ass fucked by the Ravens. Uh, I expect the Bills to win this game. It's basically a pick 'em. So I'm going with the Bills -1 here. And I got this Cowboys +2.5 in Pittsburgh. I mean the Cowboys have looked pretty bad this year. They have, but I do think they're still a much more talented team than Pittsburgh. Getting them +2.5, I think is generous. I don't know about that line. I don't think the Steelers are that great. So that's what I'm going with. Bridge went 0-3 last week. Let's see if Huddy and I can do better than that.
We're gonna claw our way back to 500 at the very least, and it's gonna start with this week. We're gonna parlay our picks, Jack, for plus 1,600 odds. That is just ridiculous amount of money going in our bank accounts at the end of next week.
It sure is.
Uh, and yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Who cares?
Yeah, and we shit on Nabil for Ray McLeod. I feel like he's going off too this game. They throw every single play.
Well, that's what you like. That was my thing. You know, Cousins, like you were the one who told me this. Like you watch Cousins through the first 6 weeks of last year, and like people started calling for like MVP voting for him.
Yeah.
He was playing the lights out, and so like you just think like, all right, I know he's coming back from an injury, but you put him in a better offensive situation. Nah, maybe not a better offensive situation, but like a really good offensive situation with like the caliber he's playing at. Like I knew guys were gonna go off.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. We are back, everyone. Coming at you with the trade talk segment. We still got nothing going on in our league. I know it's a little dry. It's still early. People are still holding on emotionally to their players, but expect some action this week. I know I'm shooting for a couple guys. I know a lot of other people are as well. But let's talk about Mark Andrews. Hudson and I both had as many fantasy points as not just this week, but last week too. Huddy, is Mark Andrews a droppable player in fantasy football?
Jack, I think after 4 weeks of horrible production, I watched him have a wide open pass for a first down. It was one of his only targets of the night. It's in his hands and he drops it. And it was so disappointing watching him just fumble his production as I am starting him in a guillotine league. I didn't get eliminated this week,
How are
but
you still alive in that thing?
I can't tell you. I have Isaiah Pacheco and Puka Nacua as well. And I'm skating by. No thanks to Mark Andrews. Jack, I would strongly consider if you have any other startable tight ends in your league, dropping this guy, picking up, a top option off waivers. But Jack, I actually do have I do have a little trade talk, a little something
Oh,
a little wild for you. This
whoa.
this didn't go through. This was not even considered by the receiver of the trade. But just hear me out here. A little thought experiment, if you will. Me and my roommate, my good friend Dorf, talking the talk, shooting the shit. And I send him this ridiculous trade. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. But I said, "Hey Dorf, would you consider if I trade you Gus Edwards, Jaden Reed, and Brees Hall, and you give me Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, and Keon Coleman?"
Whoa. Blockbuster.
He was
Hello.
like, "Yeah." He was like, "This is way too many players. I'm not even thinking about this trade."
Yeah,
But
that's a lot to think about.
I don't know. It's a lot to going on, but I don't know, Jack. I don't know your thoughts here. I get an upgrade, a downgrade from my RB1, but an upgrade in my RB2, and then I give him Jaden Reed, which probably isn't that great after this week, but I get Coleman, who by the end of the season could be good or could be shit. I don't know. We're just trying to, get a little action going in the trade block, like you said.
Yeah, I think it's good to get some sparks flying, some balls rolling. It would certainly help your RB room. I know Brees is your guy, but running Gus Edwards out there every week's just not the answer, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this deal. It's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of high volume, high action players, but keep us posted.
I appreciate it. It was a lot for my partner to consider. So he obviously declined it, but
Hmm.
listen, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm gonna be going after some trades this week. I'm gonna see what I can get out there on the market.
Yeah.
Hopefully upgrade at running back.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't sell Anthony Richardson unless someone wants to give me, I don't know, a bag of Frito-Lay's chips. I like those a lot. That's
Thank you
about
on
all.
behalf of PepsiCo. I thank you for that. Uh,
Yeah, no problem, man.
yeah, no, I'm looking to improve my wide receiver room this week. I have my running back room's not the best in the world, but I got four running backs that are like start-ish. Javante and Rico Dowdle are both kind of fringe startable running backs. Trying to package one of those with a receiver or a better receiver. So hit my line. And I don't want Jaden Reed because I can't have Packers on my roster. As much as
Uh,
it'd be perfect, I'm sorry, I can't have them.
Yeah, I
Can't have
mean,
a Packer.
those running backs you just mentioned are not worth Jaden Reed, so that's not going to be an issue for. You know what we
That's
should
a
do? We
package.
should.
It's them plus a receiver for. I also got Trey Sermon, who's starting this
Oh, the
projected 11 points.
the backup.
He
Yeah,
might. He's
I-
gonna start. He's gonna start this week.
he is going to start in week 5, and yeah, we'll see how that works out for him. Listen, you
I
and I
can
should
name
we should
somebody.
debate the trade next week on the show. We should really just go at it, fist flying over the screen. Just have some fun.
All right. We could bring in two randos and have to do a four-team trade before we can leave.
Yeah, we cannot leave this Zoom call until a four-team trade is organized.
Damn it,
Get
Darnell
Scott on.
Mooney.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, true. Darnell Mooney just scored another touchdown.
Are you serious?
Dude, he's got 30 against me in my other league. Fuck.
Bro, that's crazy.
I thought I had a cake matchup this week. I had Darnell Mooney as wide receiver too, and he's got 30.
All right, should we close this out?
Yeah, let's do it. We've been getting sidetracked a lot today.
That's how it should be. We just need the banter. I'm gonna be
Yeah, this is
like,
our hangout time.
absolutely, this is what's going on. This is the whole point of this podcast. Just you and
The
me
truth. That's how it all
goofing about
started.
dumb football talk. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching the Week 4 talk show. Commission JJ signing off. Jack, I hope you have your alarm clock set for a bright and early 9:30 a.m. game. Your Minnesota Vikings taking on the New York Jets in London.
You bet all day, mate. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, London, not Australia, man, or whatever the hell you just tried to do.
I can't get the difference down. It's tough here.
And I'm gonna see if my New England Patriots can pull it off against the Wildcat formation in Miami.
Let's
And
find
so,
out.
yeah, good luck to both of our teams. I think we'll need it.
Certainly. Everybody enjoy week 5. It's football season. It's no better time. Till next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest here. First special guest of season 2. We have our good friend Nabil, manager and owner of the Bank Took Mahome. Nabil, thank you so much for coming on. You know, wanted to talk to you about the team, about the season, about your expectations for 10th place this year, and really just what's been going through your mind this first 4 weeks. So really, the
Yeah,
stage is yours, man. Anything you want to say
Give us a
thanks for having me
synopsis.
to
on.
me or to other players?
First time listener, last time caller. I just wanted to say it's an absolute pleasure. Jack, firstly, love the haircut.
Thank you. She fucked
This
me up, dude. It's bad.
no, dude, no. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan.
Too short.
But you haven't gone short in a while, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it.
It's true.
Hudson, if you want to look back at last week's scorecard, or actually, sorry, a week before when I beat you, uh,
We don't have to, but we could.
yeah, I mean, I think we should. My team was a team that coming out of the draft, people were kind of giving mixed reviews about. I get I'm not a media darling. I understand I'm an underdog, but listen, we got a tough locker room. We got a lot of guys that want to put in the work. We got a lot of injuries. We got a lot of people that were expected to be healthy this entire season that went out early. We adapted. We got ourselves a great third string quarterback after Love, after Tua. We went and got ourselves a guy. All right. And, this guy's been cooking. He's on our bench right now because we have our QB1 back. But I just want to say we're a team that's pulling out results. We're a team that will continue to pull out results. And, we have injuries. We have a ton of injuries.
Yeah,
Right
you
now, I'm
do.
looking at some players that I might have to drop that I don't want to drop, but, I can't just be leaving those spots, not giving me any points every week. So I just wanted to I texted the two boys earlier this week talking a little bit of trash, saying they hadn't really been talking about my team nearly enough. Um, and I think, if you look at the power rankings, we're climbing. When we're an understated team, and we're looking to make an impact this year.
Yeah, I'd like
Yeah,
to say you're 3-1, which is likely the best start
surprising.
you've had in this league, which is very impressive. I was one of the people that said I really liked your team on draft day. I thought you did a great job. And you're 3-1 without Garrett Wilson doing a damn thing all season. So the
Yeah,
ceiling hasn't been reached yet. I just have
and
one question the media has been dying to know.
sure, hit
Now
me.
that Jordan Love is back from injury, you got him, you got Sam Darnold, the two dogs of the NFC North. Who are you
Yeah,
going with?
I think it's a streaming option at like the end of the day. I'm gonna let them battle it out for the weekly starting position. If one of them pulls out results a few weeks in a row, maybe they give him like the hot hand start. I dropped Tua, which was a tough thing to have to do. He's a good guy. He's a good influence on the locker room. But at the end of the day, I think it's time for him to retire. And yeah, I mean, I got a lot of guys on the bench that could be difference makers once they're healthy again. I think Jordan Love definitely falls into that category. And I think he'll take the starting position 9 times out of 10. But if it's a matchup that I can't resist, then, we're going to see Darnold in there.
Yeah, Nabil, I'm just gonna echo what you were saying. I mean, love the ceiling here. You get Pacheco and Cooper Cup back, and you got a pretty well-rounded team. Love with you going the two tight end set this week. Sometimes
Yeah,
you got to do what you got to do. You
it's
gotta,
already paying off. We're at the half right now. I think Pitts is 8 points.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's doing
Yeah.
well.
it
So
might
listen,
make
he
career
came
high.
off a week where he had a dry week, but I don't know who it was that said it in the media this week, but stats don't mean shit. All right, like it's all vibes. It's all vibes.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
And
this is
yeah, reporters are saying that, Pitts really feels good in your
Yeah,
locker room. You've instilled this confidence in him since day one. You've had him now for 3 seasons, and
yeah,
he's finally starting to blossom. It's great to see.
yeah. And I mean, listen, I'm not trying to put too much pressure on him early. I'm gonna let him do his thing. He'll have his highs, he'll have his lows, but this isn't a 1 week season. This is a season where, week in and week out, you're gonna have to prove yourself, get yourself a slot in this team. And yeah,
listen, love the team. 3-1, a strong start. The man who sees ghosts, Sam Darnold, is the only reason that you beat me in week 3. I'm just
He
gonna put
beat you
that
by
out
a
there.
hundred, dude.
That I don't want to tape
listen, I'm
it.
not
It
claiming
was
to be
only
a
Sam
great team.
Darnold.
I will never claim to be, one of the strongest teams in the division. All I'm gonna say is if you're playing Hudson, you don't really have to worry about setting your lineup that week. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Wow, those are big words from a
Yeah.
guy who is about to plummet in our internal power rankings. Let's just put it that way.
I'm gonna let my I'm gonna let my record speak for itself.
Keep the vibe
Hudson,
train going.
you might potentially be filming a little game day special this upcoming Sunday. Looking forward to that. But I have to get back to work. It's 9:58 Eastern, and I'm still stuck uh, at work. But I got to run back out there, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
you guys
Nabil,
having.
Yeah.
thanks
Nabil,
for
thank you so
joining
much
us,
for being
man.
on. Harrison Butker lover and professional manager, Nabil John.
I'm gonna shake my head every time he scores my team points, just to let the ladies know that I don't approve of it, but I will still draft him. All right,
We
peace,
stand.
boy.
Thanks, Nabil.
Man.
Take care, buddy.
Bye, guys.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Jack, that was exactly the interview I was looking for.
That was perfect.
That might be a rivalry game for me later on in the season or come playoffs. My locker might be a little fired up after that one.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear what he had to say, but
You're gonna have to play that clip back for him over and over again.
unfortunately, yeah. But listen, you and I agree. He's got a pretty good team here. I mean, starting
Yeah.
Ray Cloud isn't ideal. That's
Now,
not
dude,
what I would be going with, but
if Cup comes back and is healthy, this team is really dangerous. He put up like 30 the first week.
yeah, he's got a lot of good pieces here. I
Yeah.
mean,
The only thing
DJ
is that
Moore, I'm a huge fan of.
yeah, Charbonnet I feel like had not a lot of action last week. So that's like a little weak spot, but I mean like Pacheco might be cooked.
I heard, what's his timetable? It's like 8 weeks now.
Yeah, it's like fantasy playoffs, if that.
Okay, so I gotta
They'll
sell him.
probably just save him for like the real life playoffs, jackasses.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Okay, that was good.
that was fire.
Yeah, I guess
All
start off the real show.
right.